For this warm-up, I've incorporated some of my favorite warm-up moves, including pass-throughs using a dowel. If you don't have a dowel, you can use a broomstick. Simply unscrew the broom part from the broomstick and you can use that. If you don't have either of those things, and you can get dowels in most hardware stores, for example, Home Hardware can actually custom make you some dowels, all right? They're just rounded and can come in various sizes. If you don't have that, you can use a yoga strap. And then you can use the yoga strap to do the following warm-up. All right, we're just using it for the pass-throughs. Here we go. Let's warm up. So standing with your feet hip distance apart here, nice soft bend of the knee. You don't want to lock out the hips or push the hip bones forward here and create tension through the lower back. So holding on to that dowel as wide as you need to. I always recommend starting wider than you think because you want to keep those arms straight here. So passing the dowel over your head all the way down to the low back. And again, trying to keep those arms straight. If you find the elbows are bending or you're having to do this kind of thing to get the dowel over, try going a little wider with your grip. And as you do this, think of pulling your hands apart. So pull your hands away from each other like you're trying to break the dowel or the yoga strap or the broom, whatever it is that you're using. Okay, so we're just going to pass these through just a few more times. And as you start to open up through that shoulder, you might be able to take your hands a little narrower and still maintain the straight arms. Now, this is something I have incorporated for years into my mobility workout. So I can go fairly narrow, and I also spend a lot of time on posture, trying to eliminate or avoid tightening through the chest, the neck, upper back, and shoulders. So your pass-throughs might just be a little different than mine. All right, warming up those shoulders. Put that aside. We're gonna switch it up and go into knee hugs. So starting to also warm up balance here. So I love incorporating balance movements into the warm up because it gets all those little muscles moving. So you're gonna pull that knee up and really squeeze it into you. I recommend holding as low down on the calf as you can to really squeeze that knee up. This is going to start to open up the hip and also give your glutes a little stretch. So think of creating no space between your quad, the upper leg, and your chest as you squeeze. That's it, and stand nice and tall. As you pull that knee into your body, you're even gonna feel those back muscles working hard, but you wanna prevent this. So try to avoid rounding through the chest and shoulders here. That's it. Really squeeze, pull that knee in, create nice compression there. Yeah, I feel those back muscles working as I pull that knee up and relax. All right. Now moving into some arm circles here. So feet hip distance apart. Remember, we're slowly warming up here. All right, before you sprint, you need to run before you run. You might likely walk before you walk, you need to crawl. So let's just build our warm up here slowly. A properly warmed up body is a much more efficient body, less prone to injury. Big circles here. Okay, so imagine right at the edges of your fingertips here, you got some pens or crayons or what have you. I want you to draw really big circles into the air, soft knee, relax the neck. Let's go back the other way. And as you do this, put your mind into your body. So don't just go through the motions, really think. Oh, feel that articulation. Feel the movement in the shoulder. Really feel that joint trying to move in its full range of motion, and be aware where it feels like there's any sticky parts, any tight parts. Be aware of how it feels from one side to another. Maybe your forward circles feel a lot different than your backward circles. I know mine do. One more. Feel those shoulders, traps, everything warming up here. Let's see, give them a couple rolls. All right, one of my favorites. Now, for this next warm-up exercise, you may want to have a chair or a bench in front of you to offset a little bit of that pressure as you come down. So for this one, your feet are wide, okay? Try to avoid anything more than a 10 and 2 angle at the toe. So we don't want to be in sort of this position. Keep those toes 10 and 2. Have that bench in front of you if you need. Shoulders are back, standing nice and tall. We're going to drive those knees away as we press the legs away, and then take your elbows inside the thighs here. That's it. Have a seat and just rock gently from one heel to the next. So you may have something here in front of you that you want to hold on to, or again, using those elbows to push the knees away and rocking side to side. Relaxing your neck, prayer position here, because this helps push the elbows back if you can bring those palms together. Awesome. Now we're going to bring the fingertips to the floor, straighten out the legs, walk those feet and bend the knees if you need to here. Okay, and roll all the way up. All right, let's try that again. Take those legs wide, just warming up through the joints. Come on down, hands to prayer, push the knees away and rock side to side. Now from here, let's open through the shoulder a little bit and press that shoulder forward. So use one elbow to press into the inner thigh, just above the knee on the thigh. There we go. And rock, that's it, good. You can maybe come up here as you rock onto one foot, rock through the heel. Feeling that beautiful squeeze through the butt. Hands to the floor. Walk the feet, keep the knees bent if you need, and roll on up. All right, so far so good. Let's move on to our next. A little more balance with opening up through the quad and reaching up through the arm. This one, you may need to hold on something as you reach for your foot. You might need to hold on to something, and from there, then I want you to reach that arm up. So we're driving the knee back to get through the quad, tighten the core, okay, without arching here. Drive that knee back and reach that arm up. Tuck the chin and relax. We're gonna add a little more movement to that. So reach for the foot, stretch, switch. Reach for the foot, stretch, switch. There you go. All right, and again, focusing on that balance, okay? So catching the balance gives those little muscles, the core, a chance to engage and mobilize together to say, oh, balance, balance alert. That's it. And it's not a rush. Nice and slow. Knee back, shoulders back. Reach for the stars here. Awesome reach. We're avoiding static stretching here, so we're keeping it nice and dynamic. Keeping that movement. And reach. Okay, that's it. We are going to do some walkouts. You've probably seen them before if you've seen any of my videos. One of my favorite head to toe movements that we can do anywhere with a little space. Warms up the glutes, the quads, thighs, core, chest, arms, pretty much everything. This is what it is. Let's walk out. So trying to touch your toes. If you can do this and keep your legs straight, great. If you've got to bend your knees, I strongly recommend that as soon as you are able, as you walk out, that you try to straighten those legs. Walking out to plank. Okay, nice strong plank here. Relax the neck. And then keeping your legs straight as long as you can, you're going to press your hands back to your toes. Let's do that again. We're going to do at least 3 of these here. Good. Nice strong plank. And walk your hands back to your toes. If you need to bend your knees, again, try and straighten them out as soon as you can. Once you're in plank, I want you to imagine someone's going to try to come push you over. Really stabilize through that core so that you're strong. Bend and coming up. Right on. So feeling like we're getting warmed up, right? More blood flow to the body. Even your breath, your breathing rate may start to increase here. This is all good. This is what we want to get ready for the workout. And the final thing we're going to do is a little bit of rotation, all right? Just to open up through that mid body here. So coming up on the back foot, starting with those elbows bent, and then let the twist swing the arms. If you want, you can start to straighten out the arms. That's it. Let those arms swing, swing. Think of creating a tiny waist. As you get taller, all those beautiful obliques that transverse abdominis, all those muscles here, creating that rotation through the core, and done. All right, there is a functional with a slight mobility focus warm-up for you to incorporate. Do your best, take it slow. It might not look like mine, it will look like yours. And over time, the more you dedicate yourself to a practice of flexibility and mobility, the more it will flow, the easier it will feel in the joints, all right? So if you have any questions about that, please reach out to ask.